Audio check 1, 2, 3, 4. Check. Check. Okay. Give me a check there. Make sure it's you.
Check, check, 1, 2, 3.
Yep, that's you. Okay. Hello, people on Facebook and YouTube. Give us a second. We're going to go live on the radio right away. Right away.
I hope so. I need to get back in the heat.
Yeah. It is a chilly day, too.
It's not a short weather morning. That sounded so weird. So, your diet.
Well, thank you very much, Will. I tell you what, it is an early Thursday morning, and the only reason I'm up this early is because of the Black Walnut Festival. Normally, you're not going to get me up this early, and I tell you what, it's weird when you're up early in the morning because I only see town when it's packed and people are moving and shaking. It is kind of quiet this Thursday morning, and it's kind of what we would call the calm before the storm on day number 2 of the West Virginia Black Walnut Festival, 71st edition of the West Virginia Black Walnut Festival. So much is going to be happening today. We are going to spend all morning talking about everything that's going to be taking place on day number 2, but we're going to jump right into it with our sponsor for this half hour of content on the station and on our Facebook and YouTube feeds. Once again with us, as he tends to be every Walnut Festival now, is Jason Miles Bennett with Getting Piggy with It 304 LLC. He brought his massive Goliath smoker that he bought between last year and this year of the festival, and he is always generous of his time. And I guess you're always up anyway, Jason, so it's no big deal, the fact that you're up smoking meat this early in the morning, so you might as well come over and relax for a little bit and talk.
Yeah, we talked. I think I messaged you Monday or Tuesday, said, hey, did you get me secured the spots? You said 7:30 every day because you're the only idiot that's up that early. I'm like, all right, well, touche. I appreciate it.
Well, let's talk about it, Jason. How was day number 1? Now, the weather, as we talked about throughout yesterday, was wonderful, and it seemed to me like there was a lot more people on a Wednesday for lunch crowd than there traditionally is when the weather's not quite as good for the festival. It was beautiful weather. Did you see, for a Wednesday for you now in your 4th year, more people or just about the average that you would normally see on a Wednesday of the festival?
The crowd for lunch, even into the evening, was the biggest I've seen in the 4 years I've been here. And I think a lot of the contributing factor to that was just the absolutely gorgeous day that we had. I mean, if I could ask for a model day, yesterday would be the one. And according to the forecast, we're going to have 3 model days in a row coming up. Maybe a little bit cooler, which I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
You can see right now I'm still out here in shorts. I do have a hoodie on this morning. But I am a cold-natured guy. I like the cooler weather, and I always say I'm too insulated for hot weather.
Well, you do spend a lot of time around fires over there, so that's a good thing in case you do get cold. Don't let the morning cold cool your excitement, folks, because it's going to be beautiful weather. It's going to be sunny. It's probably going to be in the low 70s again with the breeze. There's not going to be any humidity. It is going to be pristine weather again today, and we're expecting, as Jason said, throughout the entirety of this festival this year, tremendous, tremendous weather. We've got a lot on tap. Really yesterday, Jason, it was food, and then the carnival. Today, everything gets going. The Armory is going to be abuzz with the craft show and the flea market and the chainsaw boys and all sorts of stuff, the motorsports and tractor displays. Heritage Park is going to be abuzz with the flower show, the 4-H FFA exhibits, all sorts of stuff going on. And in its essence, day number 2 is much bigger for the food court because, number 1, school is out. So there's no school today. So a lot more kids are going to be downtown, which means, normally speaking, a lot more parents and families are going to be downtown. And I assume that so is today going to be the day that you roll out both sides of the smoker?
Yeah, we're going to fire both of them up this afternoon and get both of them rolling, and more so in preparation to smoke throughout the night to get everything prepared and fresh, ready for Friday and Saturday.
Well, once again, let's take people through the menu. Again, we're talking with Jason Miles Bennett from Getting Piggy with a 304 LLC. He is located directly across from us on Market Street from Court Street, where I am sitting, basically right off the side of McIntosh. And I tell you what, those guys must have a heck of a time working today and throughout the week with all the smells coming into their facility.
Between that and the people who live above in the apartments, I've got nothing but, I don't know whether they're mean stares, good stares, or what, people walking by coming out of the apartment, just kind of, we're smelling that all night long. Well, good. Good for you.
So what do you got for us here today once again? Obviously, pulled pork is a big deal for you guys, but you do a whole lot more than just pork when it comes to getting piggy with it.
Yeah, we're going to have a copycat menu from yesterday. Be the pulled pork, the Cajun chicken, the brisket, wings, baby back ribs, and then the hash brown casserole, mac and cheese, and baked beans again.
I saw some of that yesterday when, if you guys were watching on Facebook, I walked around the food court area, and he was prepping the hash brown casserole and the smoked mac and cheese. And I was ribbing him about having enough mac and cheese for the week. I know that's always been a big seller for you, but again, brisket's a big deal. I love brisket, and so when you can get it fresh, the fact that you're okay. Let me ask you this: are you gonna have brisket by the time I'm hungry at lunch today?
Should have.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure. I mean, this is a me thing.
Right.
This has nothing to do with everybody else out there. They can fend for themselves when it comes to that. So he does have brisket.
I put a 16-pounder on yesterday about 1:30, 2 o'clock.
Brisket's one of those things that takes a while, doesn't it?
Anywhere between 16 to 18 hours to get a good slow smoke on it.
Well, Jason did show me some of the technological advances that he has. He's got an app on his phone now that dials into your temperature sensors. That's kind of a neat thing to have.
Yeah, and the good thing about that one is it connects to the internet. So I've got it connected to the Wi-Fi over now, so wherever I'm at, I can see the temperatures.
That is cool.
So if I'm 15, 20, 30 minutes away and I see something going on, I can get back here and get on top of it, check it out, see what's happening with it.
Well, as I talked to Jason yesterday morning, if you guys were tuning in, I said it's a far cry from you having to stay up all night the first year you were here and work that one little smoker, that one that you had.
That one little 500-gallon smoker I had.
It seems like minuscule play right now. Well, Jason, you are ready to go. Well, you're getting ready to go for day number 2. I expect a huge crowd here, obviously, again today. We wish you guys the best of luck. Hope you make a ton of money. Hope you have a great time. And I hope that the festival is enjoyable for everybody involved. And we just hope for another great day here in day number 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Come out, support all the vendors. Every one of them has a good product. Myself, yesterday, I went over and visited my friends at Gill's. Man, that turkey bacon Swiss with a little bit of ranch on it, that hit the spot last night. So, visit all the vendors. If you come down here and you leave hungry because you don't like a certain type of food, it's your own problem.
That's on you.
Yeah.
If you can't find something out of everything that's down here right now, that's on you, folks. We're going to send it back up to Will at the top of the hour, and we'll check in once again at about the 8:45 time slot. I do have another sponsor coming up at that point. But until then, folks, make sure you make plans to come down to the festival. Stop by Getting Piggy with it 304 and get yourself some great smoked meat and some of the sides that Jason Miles Bennett has for the 71st Annual West Virginia Black Walnut Festival. Sweet. Okay. So the brisket will be ready today. Good. I know people out there are brisket hounds. And so we never had brisket here, right? We never had brisket in Spencer, West Virginia until the Hungry Moose opened. Mm-hmm. And so Darren makes brisket, right? And so I've gotten used to, whenever I want it, going down and getting brisket. Well, this week he's going out of town. He actually left yesterday. So he's like, we're not doing brisket this week. I was like, is there anybody that's going to be doing brisket? I didn't know if it was going to be you, if somebody was going to be doing brisket. So thank goodness you're going to do brisket. I like that.
Yeah, brisket's one that I held off on for a long time. I wouldn't do it. Partially because I was scared. Just a brisket, you're talking anywhere between $80 to $110, $115 brisket, depending on the size you get.
Yeah.
And, it's so finicky and takes so long to cook. And I ain't gonna lie, I was scared to cook one. I mean, that's that's $100.
Yeah.
That if you screw it up, you just throw it in the trash and cry your tears and move on.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't imagine trying that.
And I'm not, if I sat there and told you that I didn't throw a couple good flats away,
ooh,
yeah, I'd be telling stories. So I mean, you got into it, and it's just,
brisket's like one of those things. I imagine it's like somebody who really loves their grass, their lawn. It takes attention. You have to put attention to it, and you have to be. It's almost like you have to baby it.
Yes.
Throughout the process of it cooking, and as you said, still no guarantees that's going to turn out perfect.
Typically, your brisket will stall anywhere between 145 and 160 degrees. It'll just come to a flat stall, and it'll sit there 3, 4, 5 hours, and you're just looking at them, like, is it ever going to? And you got to take it out, pat it down a little bit, wrap it up, put a blanket on it, put it back in there, and the temperature will eventually start to rise again. And then you let that go for a few minutes, let it get up to a certain temperature, and you pull it and let it finish its cook. But I mean, it's very, very time consuming. It's not like your typical pork butt that you can put on there and walk away from and come back to it. And, the brisket, you got to be right on top of it. Other than chicken, which I gauge my chicken, I don't monitor my chicken the whole time it's cooking. But I do monitor when it comes off to make sure, because chicken's one thing I don't play with.
Yeah.
There's too much going on with that, and I always make sure everything's temped when it comes off. But the brisket's the only thing that I monitor from the time it goes in to the time it goes off. And this app I've got, it'll record my cooks.
Yeah.
So I can go back and see my temperatures if something happens and I do doze off.
Do you have an alarm set for it?
It does. If it drops below a certain temperature, as far as the ambient temperature in the smoker, a very loud, annoying alarm will go off. If you happen to be around the smoker and I open it up, you'll hear the loud and annoying alarm going off on my phone. And the bad part about it is it's like never starts going off until all my hands are full.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, man. I had to wait a couple minutes.
Yeah.
And then take the gloves off, and it's just parts of doing business, I
It's
guess.
just hard. Brisket tastes so good, though, so it's worth the effort once you get it done. Speaking of that, Kay Williams said, I had the brisket last night. Amazing. Love the hot sauce, and oh, my goodness, the baked beans. So Kay Williams had some brisket last night somewhere. Was that you? Did you brisket yesterday, or did she find it somewhere else? I didn't know you did brisket yesterday.
I told you I was doing brisket.
That's right. I had to leave early. Ugh. Man, I hate being busy.
I even showed you one on the smoker when you did your YouTube
That's
video.
right. Well, I also was – so I was dealing with something on the phone. I just learned to use my phone. The technology is beyond my capabilities. And I had the phone up, and somehow I had the screen turned backwards on my phone.
Yes, I noticed that on your video.
To where you couldn't read anything.
Well, not only that, but you were walking to me backwards.
Yeah, it was really odd.
Yeah, when I watched it last night, I was like, where's he coming from?
Now,
wait a minute.
Yeah, my tech guy said that he fixed it, and I want to find out again today when I walk around. But
Well, I hope so, because it made me dizzy.
I was in panic mode. I was in pure panic mode. So I did not see, or I guess focus on the fact that a brisket was actually on. So I guess Kay was the lucky one. She got the actual brisket yesterday. Yeah. So I'll be looking forward to that today. The reason I know that is because I'm here until 7 o'clock today. I won't be leaving early.
Well, what are you going to do with all your free time when you leave early?
Yeah, that's going to be weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's going to be odd.
I mean, if you want to, come over and I can help you train you into a pit master, maybe.
Oh, well, you do not want me. So you know how people have green thumbs where they can grow things?
Yep.
I can't do that. It would be the exact same with being a pit master. You would be ruining briskets. And I don't want you to ruin briskets.
Well, let's go get a piece of ground chuck. And let's do a poor man's brisket. Try you out on that, and then we'll slowly graduate.
I'll get some chopped steak. Get some chopped steak.
Well, I can't say hamburger. It's almost as expensive as a brisket is now.
It is crazy. It is crazy. That's one thing. I don't want to get into the numbers with you, but my goodness, the amount of money that you have to put out before a Walnut Festival. Now, I'm sure there's some places that you go, like private events, and still it's a good bit. But for a 5-day festival of this magnitude, before the first dime is spent for you, like for people coming to you, there is a lot put out.
There is. Like I said, I don't want to talk, numbers or any of that stuff, but everybody's being affected by it. And I try not to pass the cost on to the patrons. I don't. I try not to price gouge, but I mean, everybody sees the price of everything is elevated.
Yeah.
Luckily, again, this year, if you go back and even look at my menu from last year, I've been able to maintain the same pricing to pass it on to everybody who comes that they paid last year.
Yeah.
It's just, I like to be fair to everybody, and I like going out to eat.
Yeah.
And I know when I sit down to get something to eat, I'm like, oh, that's a fair meal.
Yeah.
Compared to did I pay $10 for that sandwich? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I get it. Fast food's fast food, but it really gets me there.
Yep.
Um, and not knocking fast food. Look, you can look at me and tell I enjoy fast food. But if I pay, uh, for a Big Mac meal, and then I stop and look at what I'm serving
Yeah.
for a little bit more, then I'm like, okay, I'm comfortable with my pricing.
Yes.
Some people may not feel that way, and that's fine.
Yeah.
That's the greatest thing about America is everybody can have their own opinion.
Exactly.
Whether you choose to voice it or not, that's on you.
Yeah.
But a lot of times I keep my opinions to myself. So yeah, like kind of what you're doing now, bite my tongue.
Yeah.
And move on. And that's my choice. So but yeah, I mean, we try to keep everything as consistent with the market and as fair, and keep our margins down as much as we can. And I'm not like I said every other time I'm up here. I have a Monday through Friday that pays our household bills. This is fun for us.
Yeah.
Well, for me.
Yeah.
You notice if it was fun for my wife, she would be here.
Exactly.
So
I noticed you're the Lone
us,
Ranger this morning.
Yeah. Well, I'm the Lone Ranger for all the events because my wife, she's a homebody. And God love her for that. There's nothing wrong with that. She'd rather be at home right now with our grandchild, out in the garden or stuff like that. And, it's kind of a good thing because I don't know that we would have made it this far if we had to work in this business.
She's happy you have a hobby.
She is. And she mentioned to me the other day, we were talking about the smoker and the truck. And if anybody hasn't noticed or whatever, the white Macintosh, ex-Macintosh truck.
Yeah.
Purchased that off of them a couple years ago, did a transformation and turned it into a complete mobile kitchen, minus the cooking. I can't cook in it. Of course, I have no need to cook inside of it. But it has the full sink, the refrigeration, the hand wash sink. So, my wife looked at me the other day and she's, this hobby you got? I'm like, yeah, I know. We've got 2 smokers, a box truck, 3 freezers, and I'm like, yeah, I know.
This hobby's not getting so much expensive, but we're running out of room for this hobby.
Right. But,
I'm glad you got the hobby. Let me just tell you that. I'm glad that you showed up here 4 years ago at this point, and I'm glad you came over and talked to us because it has been fun to watch this happen for you. It's been fun to watch you build this business and this hobby, you call it. And I tell you what, the coolest thing in the world, though, if people come down, even if they don't stop and eat with you, I want them to stop by and take a look at the Goliath. It is an impressive piece of machinery, if you will.
And I am very proud of it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're standing up there taking a look at it and I just happen to look up and see, I'm going to come out and talk to you because I want to show off every aspect of it. As you know, I given the plug yesterday, HBT Smokers out of Alabama. If you're in the market for a smoker, it don't have to be a Goliath. It don't have to be anything.
Yeah, you don't have to go that hard in the paint if you don't want to.
Visit their Facebook page. They build fire pits, fire rings. They got the tailgater, all different styles, types. They do any type of custom jobs. Kind of upset with them about one thing is shortly after I purchased mine and got it home, they come out with one a little bit bigger that had a kegerator on it.
Oh my gosh!
And I'm like, wait a minute.
That would have been
that option was not available when I made my purchase.
Yeah,
but,
what the heck?
Yeah.
I'm showing pictures of this thing, and just for reference, folks, take a look at the truck that is hauling it, and take a look at the size of the smoker behind it. Yeah, it is as big as a truck. It is unbelievable, this smoker, and of course, it's got everything you want. And like I said, Jason is one of those guys that if you stop by, and Kay said Russ was so envious of that. If you stop by and I know that Jason is a busy guy, but if you stop by his tent, he's going to show you that thing. If you want to take a look at it, he's going to show you that thing. It is impressive. One thing I noticed is it's diagonally situated. You couldn't even pull it all the way straight in. You had to diagonal it so it could stand on its hind legs there.
Yeah. Yeah, and then getting it level and on the hillside there, and so it's been a little bit of a challenge, but we made it, and everything's been good week so far, and we just continue to look to spend the next 4 days, 4 days here in Spencer, and we're in it for the long haul.
Well, folks, that is Jason Miles Bennett with Getting Piggy with at 3:04. I'm going to let him go back and get a little bit warm near the fire, and he's got a lot of work to do. 11 a.m., that is when the food court opens today. You can stop by Getting Piggy with at 3:04, and you can get yourself some wonderful smoked meat brisket on today. I shouldn't have said it because more people hear it, more people are going to eat it, and if I forget, it'll be gone before I get a chance to get some this time.
Well, I will say one thing. You say go stand by the heat by the smoker. The only thing another downfall with this one is it's got double insulated fireboxes.
Oh gosh, so it doesn't even.
There's no heat that comes off the box, which is a kind of a good thing, because the hot box gets rather hot.
Yeah,
and for a safety feature with the kids running around and everything, that was always a real concern of mine without the double insulated firebox, and it's one thing that I kind of requested. When they built it, was a double insulated firebox. Now, don't get me wrong; it's still hot. Don't walk up and think you can, touch it or whatever. It's still hot, but it does not put off enough heat to where you can stand beside it. My cousin Kaylee, who's working for me this week, she found out the hard way yesterday evening. She took a little chill. She went over and she was, "Hey, this thing don't have no heat."
Yeah.
Well, it's all the heat's concentrated inside.
Well, they do have some hay bales over there for people to sit for the Grandpa Cratchit Show. Just grab one of those and burn it if you need to.
Will not recommend that.
Folks, come down and see Jason Miles Bennett with Getting Piggy with 3:04. Jason, thank you again. We're going to talk with you again tomorrow morning and Saturday morning. I'm glad that you're going to be available with us. It's become kind of a tradition that you kick this off with me every morning now.
It has, and I like to give a little bit of credit where credit's due. Hopefully she's seeing this or will see it. Somebody will tell her about it. If somebody's listening, tag Jeannie Bennett Yoke, because I can't really determine whether my wife is still extremely upset with her. But I do know whenever this all kind of started with the Black Walnut Festival, Jeannie was on the, for lack of better words, the poo-poo list with my wife. But I think she's kind of graduated from it yet. So give Jeannie Bennett Yoke the
all right.
all credits due for this. She's my cousin, so she kind of said, "Hey, why don't you try getting into the Black Walnut Festival?"
I see where this has gone, yes.
Yeah, so I filled out my paperwork, and, next thing you know, I got accepted, and then my wife's like, "You did what?" I'm like, "I talked to Jeannie." I'm not talking to her.
Yep. Jeannie Bennett Yoke, you are on the list.
Yeah, I think she may have graduated by now. It's been 4 years.
It's okay, yeah.
But if the grudges are anything like mine with my wife, she's still holding on to a piece of it. And it will be brought up anywhere between now and 15, 20 years from now. You remember that one time.
Anytime something wrong happens that you have been responsible for, that's coming up at some point.
And I know Kate's listening, and I'm sure it happens on the husband's side as well. It's not just a woman thing. I'm sure the husbands hold grudges too. So, Kate, I didn't want you to feel left out. I'm pretty sure there's grudges out there. So, men hold grudges as well, and we will bring them up in the past or in the future.
100%. Jason, of course, thank you very much, man, and we'll see you again in the morning. Actually, I'll be over there a few times today, but we'll see you in the morning for sure.
Yep.
Jason Miles Bennett, folks. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to run across the road to Backwood Ramblings, and I'm going to grab myself a coffee, and then I'm going to be back ready to go. We've got Faith Baptist Church coming up in just a little bit. We've got Folklore Pizza and Bistro coming up here next at 8:30. We've got a full day of events. When I come back, I'm going to run through the Thursday schedule with you here on our YouTube and Facebook channel. 71st Annual West Virginia Black Walnut Festival is on. And I am back. I welcome you all on this pleasant and chilly Thursday morning, day number 2 of the West Virginia Black Walnut Festival. This is Andrew Miller being with you throughout the day today. A lot going on day number 2, and really everything taking place today. Yesterday, as we said, was just kind of the little soft opening. They did have the food court open throughout the day, starting at 11. They were kind of getting exhibits, taking entries for things. And the carnival did take place yesterday evening. They did have one session of the carnival yesterday evening. And we'll talk about all of that stuff that's going on. We got prices for you. If you have any questions about anything that is happening at the 71st Annual West Virginia Black Walnut Festival, feel free to send us a message on the comment section of the video, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. We'll get that information to you as quickly as I see the questions. If you want to just comment about things, talk about your favorite part of the Black Walnut Festival, your favorite food at the Black Walnut Festival. We always like hearing from the fans. We like to hear from people who are from around here or just coming here for the first time or coming back here. We just enjoy interacting with our people out and about. Now, one thing we're doing here at WVRC is we are trying to make a drive for 10,000. A couple years ago, we did a drive for 5,000. A drive for 5 is what we called it. 5,000 followers on Facebook. We got there very, very quickly. And we've gotten to the point now where we're looking toward 10,000 followers on our business page for WVRC. So if you happen to be out there and listening, please send a Facebook follow message to all of your friends. If I've got 200 people sending it out to 200 of their friends, it's exponential, and we have a chance to get people to follow the Facebook page and get to 10,000 followers. We are also looking to try to advance to 10,000 followers on YouTube. Both of the pages are WVRC 104.7 FM, easy to find. So we are looking to drive to 10,000 followers on Facebook and 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. And the only way we get that is if you all out there in the listening area are able to subscribe yourselves and let all of your friends and family know to go subscribe and follow us on social media as well. Okay, here we go. Day number 2 at the West Virginia Black Walnut Festival. Lots on tap at 9 o'clock, so just about a half hour away. That's when everything gets going. 9 o'clock, the Spencer Armory is going to be a buzz with tons of things happening. The craft show is taking place down at the Spencer Armory. Just outside of the building on the gravel lot is the flea market. Also inside the Armory, you've got the Ag, 4-H, and FFA exhibits. The art and photography show taking place down at the Spencer Armory as well. 9:30 to 10:30 this morning, you can walk your bake-off entries over to City Hall, and you can enter into the Black Walnut Festival Bake-Off. Again, 9:30 to 10:30 for an hour you've got to drop off your entries for the bake-off. The results will be listed at 1 p.m. today, and you can check all of that out over at City Hall. Now, at 10 o'clock, the information booth, which is directly to my left, is going to be open, and that is where you can get not only information, but that is the official merchandise place for West Virginia Black Walnut Festival gear. So if you're looking for gear for the West Virginia Black Walnut Festival, and what I mean by that is shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, flags, wind socks, all sorts of trinkets and medallions. They also have the collectible Fiesta Wear mugs. Each and every year they do a special color mug, and I don't know what color it is yet. I'm waiting to talk to somebody who does know the color on this year. So 10 a.m., the information booth opens. It will be open from 10 to 6 today. Also getting started at 10 o'clock down at the Spencer Armory, the Mason-Dixon boys, the chainsaw artists are working. Now, somebody shared a wonderful picture that they had carved up out of a big stump an actual black walnut. They had carved it out, and that is the coolest thing I have seen in quite a long time. So our good buddy Josh Downey is walking by. So go down and see the Mason-Dixon boys. Also, at the community building, the marketplace, the food and beverage is open down there at 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. At the community building, also the flower show is taking place. They were taking entries for that yesterday. So the flower show is once again going on from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. just behind us down at the community building. A lot of things taking place over the next 4 days out at the Paul Cummings Memorial Barn. The 4-H and FFA Livestock Show begins this morning at 11 o'clock a.m. So if you're looking forward to that, make sure you plan on heading out to Lake Fork area and go to the 4-H and FFA Livestock Show. Also at 11 o'clock a.m., now this was so cool yesterday, I did not know that the ox roast sandwiches were going to be sold yesterday. And if you think back, normally at the West Virginia Black Walnut Festival, ox roast sandwiches were only sold on Friday and Saturday mornings. Last year, it was Friday and Saturday morning. This year, the Hungry Moose restaurant has taken over, and what did they decide to do? They said, well, don't worry about it. We're just going to start selling them on Wednesday. And so the Hungry Moose started selling the ox roast sandwiches yesterday. When I talked to Darren Cook at the Hungry Moose, they had already sold, when I talked to him, 30-plus sandwiches, and I talked to him at 1:30. So they had sold a bunch yesterday. He said, don't worry, they have plenty of ox roast meat. And so at 11 o'clock today, and that's 11 until 8 p.m., they are selling the ox roast sandwiches at the Hungry Moose restaurant located on Church Street. At 11 a.m., if you're hungry and you're not into ox roast sandwiches, that's when the food court opens. We'll talk about all of the food court vendors that are here. Again, if you want, go back to our video yesterday. I walked around the food court. We had a chance to see and talk to some of the food court vendors as well. Okay, so now at 1 p.m., the Black Walnut Festival Bake-Off results are going to be listed at City Hall. Then at 1, 3, and 5, 1 is the first show, 1, 3, and 5, right on the courthouse square here on Court Street, right in the middle of Court Street. They are already got the setup ready to go. It is going to be the first edition of the Grandpa Cratchit Show. Again, 3 shows today, tomorrow, and on Saturday. Also, for the first time, the pickleball tournament. So there is going to be a pickleball tournament here for the Black Walnut Festival. That will be this evening at Washington Park. 5 p.m. is the warm-up. 6 p.m. is the start time for the pickleball tournament. The crowning achievement of this Thursday is going to be the Queen's coronation, and that will take place on the main stage at the front of Church Street. Miss Lakin Campbell, Black Walnut Festival Queen for 2025, will officially be crowned at 6 p.m. And again, we will be covering that live on Facebook and on YouTube both. So if you cannot make it downtown for that event, make sure you stay tuned in to us here at WVRC. And then the wonderful day of Thursday culminates with a big concert. 7:30 p.m. on the main stage, the Kentucky Headhunters are going to be playing music, so make sure you plan accordingly. Again, there's a lot of seating here, but you may want to bring a lawn chair and just pop a squat somewhere and enjoy the Kentucky Headhunters. Again, they'll take the stage at 7:30 p.m. on the dot. That is Thursday here at the West Virginia Black Walnut Festival. One thing I wanted to mention to you all who are out there who may be watching, I do have giveaways as well for this week. And one of the giveaways, I'm going to do a local author, well, a Roane County native, I should say. So he doesn't live in Roane County right now, but a Roane County native and a children's book author has been so wonderful to give me some books to give away. And that author is a friend of mine. Her name is Cassie Ashley. And take a look at the screen here. She recently published a children's book. It's called West Virginia, Your Home to Me. And I have 5 of those books to give away. I will actually be giving away the first of those 5 today. So hopefully, if you guys are interested in getting a free copy of West Virginia, Your Home to Me by the author Cassie Ashley, it is a very good book, very easily readable for parents and kids. And so I know you guys will enjoy that, and hopefully you guys get a chance to get those things for free. I've got 5 of those to give away. I will do a giveaway later today, and it's going to be a West Virginia themed trivia question. So something about West Virginia history, obviously, is what you're going to have to answer to get that book. So I do appreciate Cassie for sending us some free copies of that for giveaway opportunities. Stay tuned, folks. I've got another sponsor coming up here in just a minute. The sponsor for the 8:30 to 9 o'clock morning hour is going to be Folklore Pizza and Bistro. Take a break for a second. We're going to get ready to go on the radio in just a second. Well, thank you very much, Will. I tell you what, it is a chilly, chilly morning here on day 2 of the West Virginia Black Walnut Festival, but it is not going to cool my spirits on day 2. I'm excited. I went over to Backwood Ramblings and I got myself a coffee, and I am refreshed. I am revived. I am warm inside. It's going to be beautiful weather down here in Spencer, West Virginia for the 71st Annual West Virginia Black Walnut Festival. And although it was exciting yesterday, today, whoa, a bird just flew by. Today is really the day when things get kicking off. I just went through the schedule of events. I'll continue to do that. If you want to follow us on our Facebook and YouTube channel, right now I'm having some issues with the feed, but that's okay. I'll continue to figure that stuff out. Wanted to thank our sponsor for this half hour of content, both on the radio and, of course, on our Facebook and YouTube live stream coverage of the Walnut Festival. It is Folklore Pizza and Bistro and Mountain State Awards and Graphics as well. And we are happy to be joined by the representative. Of course, Krista Kuhn is the one who has to come talk.
Absolutely.
Because Chad is one of those guys who's behind the scenes. But, Krista, obviously, thank you for the sponsorship, and thank you for coming on with us. You guys are busy.
A little bit.
I just want to say that first and foremost.
A little bit.
Just a little bit busy.
Yeah.
So before we talk about the business side of things, not only have you guys been busy, but you guys are the ones who kind of set up the information booth over here. Talk about how that happened and what it is you guys do with the information booth at the festival.
Well, we work collaboratively with the mayor's office. We print all of the shirts that the mayor's office sells at the information booth. And, of course, we have other things in there that they sell. So I've kind of taken on the lead of just being there and setting it up and doing all the work for it. We also have custom shirts that we'll print throughout the week and sell there as well. But we love the Black Walnut Festival. We love being a part of it. We have been selling T-shirts at the Black Walnut Festival since probably 2002. And we took a little bit of a break when our kids were involved in everything, and we needed to be active in their lives. And then we've come back on the scene. But this is our favorite time of year, honestly, like right below Christmas, probably. So we love doing it. It's a good time to be out and see everybody. And the information booth just seems to be our spot because it seems like we know a lot about it. So it's works out well.
Well, as people who are from Roane County and have been here for so long, there's just something special about the Black Walnut Festival. So not only just to have people around, but to be involved with it, with the information booth, just one area of things that is taking place here is fun for you guys. And again, you're out and about, you get to see people, you get to talk to people who you may not have seen for a while. It's almost like a guaranteed homecoming on accident.
It is, totally.
But now, you guys, I kidded Chad many times. Why do you just want to be so busy all the time? You guys decided at some point in your lives that you were going to buy skate land and you were going to do something with it.
Correct.
And did you have an idea at all what it was you wanted it to be? And since then, it has become something completely different, bigger, crazier, wonderful. Folklore Pizza and Bistro is a restaurant. It is a gathering spot. It is an event center. It is, I don't know what you could call it, honestly. You have an Airbnb there. It is insane what you've done with that place.
Well, that was not on the radar at all. Totally. When we bought it, obviously it had a lot of historical value to us. I was pretty much raised there as a kid. And then, of course, my mom bought it. And so my kids were raised there. So it was almost very, kind of a memory thing that we didn't want to see go to the wayside to someone else. And so a small picture of it was eventually we'd probably move Mountain State Awards there, and we would do a little, we knew we wanted to do a wood-fired pizza place. That was always kind of on the books for us. And we wanted to do ice cream, but we wanted to do like a really like either homemade ice cream or a creamery ice cream. So it was just a very small scale. Once we got in there, my friend Jennifer, I know she may not be listening this early this morning, but I had a little talk with her, like, what should we do with this big space? And she said, you know what Spencer needs. And so then we came up with the venue. So when the venue started happening and we started doing all the decorating and all the fun stuff started happening, I was like, this is too pretty to have just a little tiny small pizza and ice cream restaurant. So we're going to have a nice big restaurant. And so that is how the Folklore restaurant became what it is. And then it's just kind of magnified since then. It's just, we needed lodging because we have weddings and people don't have anywhere to stay really. So we're like, okay, let's create lodging. And so we've made an Airbnb there. We needed extra parking. So there was a church at the beginning of Steel Hollow that dissolved, and so they were selling their building. So we bought a church, and we've renovated it into another small meeting space if needed, and it's also lodging. So yeah, I don't know, it's like something's wrong with us. We keep finding these needs, and we're like, okay, let's do that, and let's do that. And so we have this little small army that works 24/7. It seems like
it is wild.
Yeah.
Again, we're talking with Krista Kuhn from Folklore Pizza and Bistro, Mountain State Awards and Graphics, and whoever knows what else is going to happen at this point with them. So this seems to be like it's kind of just born out of itself. It's been organically growing, and you find something that you want, or you find something that matches the need. Go, let's do this, let's do that. I tell you though, I think back to the days of skating. One thing I love about what you guys did at Folklore, which was, if people have not been there, they're missing out on a wonderful, beautiful place. Number one, the design that you guys have is insanely wonderful. One thing you kept was the skate land floor.
Yep.
And that is so cool that you walk in there, and I walk in there, and I see the sign on the back of the wall that says Ladies' Choice, all skate. And I hear Miss Hildreth running the DJ booth there. It's so nostalgic for people like us.
Yeah. And we didn't want to lose all that. We actually still have that sign. We're going to do a kind of like a historical wall when we ever get time. We have skates from probably 1975, and we have that sign. And then I was very honored to meet with Miss Burgess, who was the people that actually built the skating rink. I met with her and got some pictures from when they started and opened it up. And people in the community brought by pictures and dropped off so that we could do this memorabilia wall. But we wanted it. We didn't want you to think that it was a skating rink when you walked in, but we still wanted you to see just a little bit of it. Yeah. And then when the design just kind of happened, because when we were coming up with the name for the venue, we came up with Steel Hollow Estates, and that kind of came up just because where we're located, I thought it was important that we used where it was at.
Yeah.
And so when we said Steel Hollow, I was like, well, then we need wood and metal. That's going to be our theme. So throughout the whole building, it's all wood and metal pretty much. And then, of course, when folklore kind of came into the realm, we wanted that floor theme. So obviously Bigfoot is our theme, and aliens and all kinds of stuff like that. So which is really cool. And we actually are bringing visitors here because when they've went out to Google us or whatnot, they've seen that Bigfoot. They're like Bigfoot advocates, and so they're driving to Spencer just to see this restaurant that has a Bigfoot thing.
I assume the Mountain Monsters men are going to be over there at some point.
At some point, yeah. He actually, one of them showed up at the comedy night that we had, and everybody was like, such and such is here. I was like, who? And because I don't ever watch TV because I work all the time.
I was going to say, there's no time for TV with you guys. Folks, we're talking with Krista Kuhn. Again, if you're looking to get a good place, not just this week, but throughout the general weeks, follow them on their Facebook page. They're always very active on that out there in Radioland. Stop down at Folklore Pizza and Bistro. You will not be disappointed with the experience that you have down there. I am a huge fan. Obviously, you see me more than probably I need to be.
I'm a regular.
I'm a regular down there. And if you want to stop by the information booth, you can talk with Chad and Krista about Folklore. You can talk to them about the Airbnb. You can talk to them about Mountain State Awards and Graphics. You can talk to them about every iron in the fire that is Chad and Krista Kuhn. We're going to sit back up to the studio. We're going to stay live here on Facebook and YouTube. I want to keep picking Krista's brain about all the stuff that's happening at Folklore. We're going to sit back up to the studio, though. All right, for those of you out in Facebook and YouTube land, so what is happening this week out at Folklore? I know that you guys are the Walnut Festival is interesting in that it's wonderful because it brings so many people to town, but it's also challenging for local businesses at times, especially somebody who serves food, because the festival is a food-based festival. But what you guys offer is, again, an experience, an evening time experience. You're going to bring in still musical acts. So let's talk about what's happening out at Folklore.
Yeah, so yeah, we kind of planned that Wednesday and Thursday would be kind of late evenings, but we didn't want to close because there are some people that just want to get out of the cold, want to get away from the crowd or whatnot. So we actually had a decent crowd last night, which was kind of surprising to me. A lot of people are in town and wanted to try out new places. Figured they'd be here throughout the day, I guess, eat. So we did have some new visitors that came in last night. But tomorrow we start our live music with John Richards. He's been there before, and he's from Calhoun County. He plays a different genre of everything, pretty much. Really like John. He has a really good following, and we all have a good time while he's there. So he's coming tomorrow, and then Saturday we're doing the Fender Benders, which when I first met the Fender Benders, I was like, this is not going to work. Love their hearts. But amazingly, they have a huge following that I was unaware of. So they request a dance floor because there's a line dancing group that follow them every weekend, I guess, wherever they play.
Yeah.
And so we have a dance floor, and we'll plan on having line dancing tomorrow night or Saturday night. And so, yeah, we're looking forward to those 2 acts. We also have the class of 1980. 1990 and 1988 are having their little social gatherings. They're not really calling it a reunion, but they're just like, hey, we're going to be here. You guys want to come down, and we all kind of get together. So we're planning on having all of those class reunions. And, of course, any class reunion, honestly, could meet there. So they're all gathering and planning on having the evening there on Saturday to meet with each other and catch up.
Well, what I love about Folklore is the amount of space that you guys have and have utilized. It's kind of like 3 separate environments, and you utilize all 3 separate environments incredibly well. So the front area, you walk in, there's, of course, seating, dining, there's a front counter, and then you walk into the middle area, there is, of course, some games and pool table. That's where a lot of the kids hang out and enjoy themselves. And then you've got a bar style there, and then you walk into the main venue area where all the seating is. There's cornhole boards over there. There's places for musicians. It's so incredible that you guys can house so many different types of groups at the same time on any given evening.
Yeah, and that just came by mistake. It was not planned.
We fell into this.
Originally, it was just the front room and then the main hall. We had a little tiny bar that you wouldn't really sit at. You would just come and order your drink and then go sit down. And before we opened the restaurant, we were like, that's not going to work. So we had like 3 weeks, and we put in this major bar. And so then we had to build a wall to separate the event hall from the bar. So we had another wall put in. So it works wonderful. We have a big barn door that'll open up so that it becomes kind of more of a one-room bar if we need to. But the acoustics was really a big worry for us because we didn't really plan a lot of it for acoustics when we first started. And amazingly, it is almost soundproof from the event hall to the very front room. So
it is wild.
You can have a band in there, a loud band, and not hear them in the front room. So if somebody comes in and says, I really don't want to be on the noise, then they can just sit in the front room and they don't hear anything that's going on in the main hall. So
yeah, you'll have like just some background ambient music playing in the front. It's simply amazing the way it has worked. And I've been there like through some of the process. You know, of course, a few years ago we did the red carpet event for prom, and from that time, even before that time, when I come and see you guys over there, I'm like, it just keeps morphing into some other stuff, and it continues.
It continues.
There is no stopping.
We are under another project. So
there's a project going on. If you go to where the parking lot is and you look at Mountain State Awards and Graphics, then up on the hillside there, what is going on there?
Well, that is part of our wedding project that we're working on. So we are putting in a very nice pavilion. It's I can't remember the exact measurements, but it's very large. But we're putting in a pavilion and then outdoor space for outdoor weddings or receptions. So you can get married inside or outside, or have your reception inside or outside, however you want to do it. We put in